How many beers can Ben Affleck consume while still remaining vertical? The Way Back is an emotional underdog sports movie that examines grief, addiction, and redemption. Now don't get this The Way Back confused with The Way Back that came earlier in the 2000s about some soldiers. And also don't get it confused with The Way Back with Sam Rockwell, which that is a phenomenal film. This is The Way Back about basketball, about alcohol, with Ben Affleck. Affleck is a former high school basketball star who's asked to come back and be the head coach of his alma mater team. And while doing this, he also has to struggle with his demons of alcoholism. This is directed by Gavin O'Connor, and him and Affleck have worked together before on The Accountant. But O'Connor also is no stranger to underdog sports movies. He brought us Warrior, he brought us Miracle, both of those hugely emotional, just a lot of pull and they could suck you in. And this one, when I went into it thinking, okay, it's gonna have some of that same just oomph, that it's gonna be about an underdog sports team and their rise to glory through just a lot of challenges. Well, this is an underdog sports story, but it's way in the back seat to Affleck and what he's going through. I mean, the team that he coaches, they're terrible. They're unfocused, they're undisciplined, but they're not without talent. So there is something there for Affleck to work with. The problem is, though, that he's got his own issues that he's dealing with and just constantly. Now, he is a functional alcoholic, but good grief, for the first half of the movie, I never saw him drink anything that wasn't alcohol. I like that the reasons for Affleck's alcoholism and his downward spiral and just all of his struggles aren't revealed all at once. That throughout the movie we get more and more and we get a better understanding, and then we see this relationship and then we hear about this and we just hear different things. So as the movie progresses, we dive more and more into his character and into his story, and that shows us just a more well-rounded picture of who he is and what he's going through. There are a few characters in Affleck's life that I would have liked to have seen a little bit more development. Now, we are given glimpses and we are given some clues in lines that they deliver, but overall, there are certain characters that I would have liked to have dived just more into, just to see more of that relationship. And while still not taking the focus off of Affleck, I think it just would have made it more rich. Ben Affleck shows a lot of good range in this and a lot of restraint also, because I think at some points, if you were just going to be like this raging alcoholic or something, then it's easy to just kind of go big or go home, and you just blah, all over the place and just larger than life or just really loud and everything. But he plays it. The restraint, is that he's that functional. He's hiding it. He's struggling. You see all of this, and it's not large movements. It's small, it's little nuances here and there to what he does and how he just hides everything and how he attempts to go through life and deal with all of the things that are in his head and in his life, that I think that's what makes his performance so good. Think about it. He's like this tightly wound spring that is constantly continuing to be wound up, just waiting for that snapping point to go poof and just explode. Now, the basketball angle of this is good. It just takes a huge back seat to Affleck and his story. I do like, though, that it gives him an outlet. It gives him an area to focus on. And that's where you begin to see a little bit of this redemption, a little bit of this growth in him, just a little bit of a change. Now, sure, that's not the end-all be-all, and that's not the magic key that's just going to fix everything in his life. But it is fun. And his interaction with the characters, with the kids on this team, I liked that a lot too. I think that they were strong, and the way that he's able to speak into certain kids' life and connect with them in ways that maybe nobody else could, I thought it was really powerful. It made me like Ben Affleck even more as his character. It endeared me to him, even though he's just very flawed. There are some heartbreaking moments in this, and I like also that the climax of the story is a bit messy, that it has a real life feel to it, that it's not all just spick and span and everybody is smiling rainbows and away we go. This allows for redemption. This allows for growth. This allows for compassion. Just all of these different nuances of emotion to come in, and it makes for a really good end to the story. Now, there are some funny moments to this film also. It's not just all like leaving Las Vegas terribly sad and down and depressing. There are some parts where Affleck and a chaplain at the basketball games have some interesting conversations. And it made me laugh, and just it becomes an ongoing joke and sets up even things in the future of the film that just, it made me laugh. It made me chuckle. It brought a little bit of levity to this very serious topic that's going on. If you're going to see this as a sports movie, there is some excitement to it. But again, that takes a huge backseat to the emotional drama and the examination of Ben Affleck and his character. Yes, basketball does play a small part in this, but it's not a basketball movie. Just know that before. If that's why you're buying your ticket, then you may want to rethink it. But if you do go, you're in for a great story and a wonderful performance by Affleck. There's no sexual nudity. There is a lot of profanity, a little bit of violence, and a lot of alcohol abuse. I give The Way Back 4 out of 5 couches. So what's your favorite Ben Affleck performance? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.